Shalom, shalom, shalom. Barakatah to the Father of lights, through the spirit and power of the throne of King David. Peace and blessings to Yahweh Shai, son and brother of the kingdom. Today, I want to do a lesson on the mystery. The mystery. All right. This passage has been recited in churches, pretty much everywhere. And today, I had the full meaning of what it really means. Am I saying that nobody else does? Yeah, I'm telling you they don't. They think they do, but they don't. I know. Sounds arrogant, right? Well, maybe when I get done, you won't think so. We got Christians on this board. They leave their thoughts, they use scriptures, but it's always from a Christian perspective. And this is where they error at, because this is not a Christian religion. It's a Hebrew religion. It's a religion of Judah and Israel. And it's not a religion, Salak. It's a lifestyle. It's a heritage. Okay, so you can't tie religious beliefs to heritage. You just can't. It's going to fail every time. And that's what these churches have done, and this is why people are so confused. This Bible was written for Hebrews and for Israelites only, nobody else. If you're coming from any other direction, you're gonna be in error. All right, I'm just putting that out there. So y'all excuse me. All right, so I'm going to begin off with the passage that everybody reads but don't understand. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 4:13. Hopefully this tablet holds up. Do y'all know this is my second time doing this message, because I was 3/4 done and this sucker just shut off. So I'm like, but got to take another stab at it. All right, here we go. 1 Thessalonians 4:13. It's the Apostle Paul. He says, "But I would not have you be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will power bring with him." Now, when it says sleep in Yahushua will God bring with him, that's not talking about Yahushua bringing them. It's talking about the Father. Okay? It's important to understand that. Verse 15. "For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep." Now, reading that from a Christian perspective, you think it's talking about Yahushua, or as the Christians call him, JC, Jesus, right? It's not talking about him. It's talking about the Father. How do I know that? Look at verse 16. It says, "For the Lord himself," not Yahushua, "shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the power. And the dead in Hamashiach, Yahushua, shall rise first." All right? "Then we, which are alive and remain, shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. So, who was Paul talking to when he said this? Was he talking to all of, Judah and Israel? No. He was only talking to the northern kingdom. He wasn't talking to Judah. He was talking to the northern kingdom. This is why this book is in Thessalonians. He was talking to the church of Thessalonica. All right. So you had Thessalonica, you had Philippi, you had Corinthians, you had Colossus, you had Ephesus, you had all of these cities. All right. Galatians that he would speak to, and these were the northern kingdom. He wasn't talking to Judah. He only talked to Judah briefly in the book of Hebrews. He talked to them and he was explaining things to them about the law of liberty. Okay? But all of those other epistles, those are to the northern kingdom. So, who talked to the southern kingdom then? Well, that was Peter. Let's go to Galatians chapter 2. Starting at verse 7. But contrariwise, when they saw that the gospel of the uncircumcision, that's the uncircumcised, those were the northern kingdom, was committed unto me, Paul said the uncircumcised were committed unto me as the gospel of the circumcision, which was the Jews, those that didn't break the covenant, was unto Peter. Verse 8, for he that wrought effectually in Peter to the apostleship of the circumcision, he said he gave Peter the power to witness to the circumcision, which is the Jews, Judah, all right? The royal house of Judah. Peter was commissioned to teach them. But then he says, the same was mighty in me toward the Gentiles. So Peter and Paul were on opposite sides of the spectrum. Paul's job was to bring the northern kingdom back into the fold and graft them in under the law of liberty through the spirit of truth. Peter's job was to edify the southern kingdom. Okay, that was his job. So when you hear Paul preaching in Romans, Philippians, all those books, he's talking to the northern kingdom Israelites. Let me get a precept. Let's go to Romans 9. Verse 3. He says, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Mashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. That kills that spiritual Israel bullshit the churches try to teach you. Who are Israelites? Listen, Israelites, who are the northern kingdom, to whom pertains the adoption, the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the power, and the promises. Verse 5. Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all. Power be blessed forever. All right? So when you read about the apostle in these cities, Corinthians and all that, he's talking to the northern kingdom. Judah was in Jerusalem. Okay, they were in under Roman captivity in Jerusalem. The northern kingdom was scattered. That's why it was Paul's job to round them up. Okay, y'all got that? Now, let's go to First Corinthians 15. And he says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall all be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall I put on incorruption, and this mortal shall I put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, Death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? All right? So, when he says, let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Verse 15. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. Now, alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord. Is that talking about Yahushua? No, it's talking about the Father. Verse 16 again. For the Lord himself, not Yahushua, shall descend from heaven with a shout, and with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the power, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Got that? Now, if that's the case, all right, let's go back to 1 Corinthians 15. What did he say? Wait a minute, it's a lot. Let me go back to Thessalonians. Go back there. I think it's there. All right. Let's go to verse 16. I want to read the New Living Translation. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a commanding shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of the power. All right. Now this says first to Christians, so you got to watch it. You ain't talking about no damn Christians. Who have died will rise from their graves. All right. Then together with them, we who are alive, still alive and remain on the earth will be caught up in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. Then we will be with the Lord forever. Now, that's talking about the Father. That's talking about Yahushua. All right. It's talking about the Father. So this is going to happen again at the second coming, right? It's going to happen again, right? Well, let's see where it happened before. Let's go to Matthew chapter 27. Matthew 27, verse 51. This is when Yahushua went to the cross, right? And he gave up the ghost. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent, and the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of their graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many. Now, Paul couldn't have been talking about that time, because it happened already. It's going to happen again. But the time that it did at this time was what? They when they came out of their graves, all right, they went on into Jerusalem, right? They walked around. Everybody saw them. Okay? Everybody saw them. So that was proof that Yahushua had rose. All right. Now, the same thing is going to happen again in this time. That time it happened, it was for the southern kingdom. All right. The next time it's going to happen, it's going to be for the northern kingdom. It ain't going to be no Judites coming out their graves when this happens again. It's only going to be northern kingdom. Why is that? Well, Most High does things decently and in order. Judah's already woke. So if you're already here, all right, there's no need to wake you up. Everybody that's in this body that's sincere, you are the ones that came out of your graves, all right, and you lived out your life under Yahweh Shai's blessing. Okay, they woke up. They're saints. They woke up and they had an opportunity to repent, accept Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, right? And they lived their life out. They got their white robes, and then here you are. You're here. That's you. Y'all did that. That's how you got here. Okay, so that did it for Judah. Everybody that was scoffing and laughing and talking shit, they're the ones that woke up to shame and everlasting contempt. He had to give the ones that were buried a chance to wake up and accept Yahweh Shai's sacrifice. And those that woke up, some did, some didn't. The ones that did, you're right here, right? You're right here. That's why you in this body, all right? That's why you in this body. I'm going to show you why. Let's go to John 15 and 26. But when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth which proceeded from the Father, he shall testify of me. And you also shall bear witness, because you have been with me from the beginning. So, in order for y'all to be here, in order for y'all to believe that I am who I am, you had to have been with Yahweh Shai. He just told you. I'm going to read that again. But when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth which proceeded from the Father, he shall testify of me. All right? And you also shall bear witness. Y'all bear witness style. Now, everybody can't believe me when I say that. They can't believe me, but you can. Why? Because you also shall bear witness, because you have been with me from the beginning. So Yahweh Shai knows you. All right? Now, let me get another precept. Let's go to John 14 and 6. Yahweh Shai said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes unto the Father but by me. So, y'all can't come to me if y'all didn't first come to Yahweh Shai. Some of y'all act like you came. Some of y'all act like, you know, you went to Yahweh Shai, but your actions show different. Your actions show different. All right? You just want to be a part of something that you never sacrificed for, and the Most High is going to always find a way to expose you and get you the fuck out of here. And that's what happened. Okay? So, that's why you don't believe. Deep down, you don't believe. You believe on the surface. You don't believe in your heart and in your spirit and your mind. When I say I'm the Father, when I say I'm King David, you don't believe that. You just front with everybody else like you believe it, but your actions show otherwise. So, Judah was taken care of at that point. Most High was done with Judah. Everybody that was in Judah and everybody that was out of Judah was handled when Yahweh Shai went to the cross and them saints came up, and the ones that accepted it, they went on to salvation, and those that didn't went on to eternal damnation. All right? They everlasting contempt. That's what happened to them. So that's why you got Pharisees around. That's why you got people, even in this body, fronting and faking like they're part of this body and they're not. They just like it because it feels good, it sounds good, but in their heart, they really don't believe. Because if they really believe, there's certain shit that they wouldn't do. They would be true to this. They will believe who I am. You don't believe me because you didn't believe Yahushua. I testify of him. Okay? So, that's why everybody on here, you on this channel and everything, we got a lot of scoffers that don't believe. You were those people that woke up and now you in the shame and everlasting contempt. All right? Now, when it comes to the northern kingdom, look what he said in First Corinthians, let me see. I think it's 15. Let me try it out. He said, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. He's talking to the northern kingdom. All right? The northern kingdom. Okay? Let me get another precept. First Corinthians chapter 15. Yeah, verse 50. It was right here. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the power, neither does corruption inherit incorruption. All right, so this body's corruptible. It can get sick, it can be injured, we can be killed, right? So this corruptible body cannot inherit the kingdom because the kingdom is incorruptible in every form and fashion. So you can't give an incorruptible kingdom to a corruptible man. That man has to be upgraded to incorruption so that he can get an incorruptible kingdom to match his incorruptible nature. Okay? We cannot take delivery on the kingdom in these bodies. We got to be changed. So, when it says that we shall not all sleep, we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, is it talking about us too? Well, yeah and no. We are going to be changed, but we're not going to be changed at the same time that the northern kingdom is changed. That's how I skipped up on April 8th. That's how it happened. I'm going to show you. Judah's turn up was mentioned in the ancient texts of the prophets. And because the Father is the Ancient of Days, his men are ancient as well. Go to Daniel chapter, let me get it. Daniel 7, verse 9. He says, I beheld, the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool, and his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. All right. So, when it says the Ancient of Days did sit, that means that the Father was going to be here until what? The thrones were cast down. These thrones are being cast down right now. What am I doing? I'm sitting, right? Sitting. Waiting. Right? Now, get that in your brain. Once it's time, all right, they're going to come after us. Let's go to Micah chapter 4. Micah chapter 4. Verse 8. I'm going to read the regular version, then I'll skip over to the New Living Translation. And thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, Unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion. Got it? The first dominion is the first turn up. The kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. The daughter of Jerusalem, Zion, that's the southern kingdom. Notice none of that is mentioned in the epistles. It's always to Israel. It's always Paul talking to the Israelites, the northern kingdom, because they were under him. All right? And we know that Peter was over the southern kingdom. But who was Peter? We know that Peter was David. Look at the New Living Translation, verse 8. As for you, Jerusalem, the citadel of the power's people, your royal might and power will come back to you again. The kingship will be restored to my precious Jerusalem. He's getting ready to give us that right now. That's what we waiting on. All right? So when he says, the tower of the flock, he's talking about the elevated stage. See, Zion is over the northern kingdom. All right? Zion is over the northern kingdom. That's why he calls us the daughter of Jerusalem. That's us. This has nothing to do with the northern kingdom when I'm reading. Look at verse 9. Now why dost thou cry out aloud? Is there no king in thee? Is thy counselor perished? For the pains have taken thee as a woman in travail. New Living Translation, verse 9. But why are you now screaming in terror? Have you no king to lead you? Have your wise people all died? Pain has gripped you like a woman in childbirth. This is what the condition that Judah's in right now. But look what he says. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion. This is why all of y'all going through what you're going through right now. You're in pain, and we're about to give birth to this nation. Like a woman in travail, for now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and you shall dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. Which is that? Where is that? Here. There thou shalt be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thy enemies. So, for all these clowns saying that America is not Babylon, it is. Where else we going to get delivered? We here. There's got to be Babylon, because he said we're going to get delivered here. Okay? And it says, there shall he redeem thee from the hand of thy enemies. Look at verse 11. Now also, many nations are gathered against thee that say, let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion. Who's that? The southern kingdom, the niggers. But they know not the thoughts of the Lord, neither understand they his counsel. For he shall gather them as sheaves into the floor. Let me read the New Living Translation, verse 11. Now many nations have gathered against you. Remember I told y'all the whole world gonna be after us? Well, that's what he's saying. Many nations have gathered against you. Let her be desecrated, they say. Let us see the destruction of Jerusalem. Look what's going on in Colorado and all that. What are they doing? Who's getting attacked? Judah. But they do not know the Lord's thoughts or understand his plan. These nations don't know that he is gathering them together to be beaten and trampled like sheaves of grain on the threshing floor. Verse 13. Rise up and crush the nations, O Jerusalem, saith the Lord. For I will give you iron horns and brass hooves, so you can trample many nations to pieces. You will present their stolen riches to the Lord, their wealth to the Lord of all the earth. Now, that's us. That's our turn up. Nothing to do with the northern kingdom, right? Now, it says that the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout. That's us. We're turned up already. We already started the war. And then after that, we are going to go down and wake up the northern kingdom. And then we're going to bring them in. All right. Whew, I'm glad this thing didn't trip and cut off. So, y'all get that in your head. All right. We're going to do the mystery part 2 in just a second. So, this your King and Shepherd signing off for right now. I'm going to get to that next giddy up. And I'll see y'all on the next go round. All right, family? See y'all on the next go round. Coming right up, though. I ain't waiting. All right. Shalom.